Documentary title: Jacob Miller. Dread at the Control, opening scene, black screen. Slow fade into archive footage of Kingston, Jamaica in the 1970s. Sounds of street life and distant reggae music fill the air. The camera zooms through Trench Town, over hills, to a small house filled with music. Narrator deep, expressive voice. In the heart of Kingston, Jamaica, where rhythm flows like blood and the soul of a people beats through drums and bass their lived a man. A dreadlocked lion, a prophet of sound, a voice sent by Jah himself. His name was Jacob Miller, and though his time on this earth was short, his legacy roars like thunder to this day. Chapter 1: Humble Beginnings. Photos of Jacob as a child overlaid with newspaper clippings, voices of elders, and classic reggae soundtrack. Narrator, born on May 4, 1952, in Mandeville, Jamaica, Jacob Miller was raised by his grandparents after his mother moved to the United States. He was not born into wealth or fame. Instead, he was born into rhythm surrounded by mento, ska, and the first echoes of what would become reggae. Expert interview music historian: Jacob would sing at the top of his lungs as a boy. Even then, you could hear something special in his voice, raw, rich, and filled with soul. Cut to early studio footage: Jacob as a teenager inside Studio One, under the watchful eye of Clement Coxon Dodd. Narrator: at just 13 years old, he recorded his first song, Love is a Message. It flopped commercially, but it wasn't failure, it was ignition, the spark that would set the reggae world ablaze. Chapter 2: Dreadlocks and Destiny. Cue footage of Rastafari gatherings, dreadlocks swaying, chalice smoke rising. Transition to inner circle rehearsals. Narrator: in the early 70s, Jacob aligned himself with the Rastafari movement. With dreadlocks falling past his shoulders and the teachings of Jah Rastafari in his heart, he stepped into his destiny not just as a singer, but as a messenger. Bandmate voiceover Roger Lewis of Inner Circle. From the moment Jacob stepped into Inner Circle, everything changed. His voice was thunder. His energy was lightning. And when he sang, man, you felt like you were in the presence of something divine. Footage of Jacob performing Tenement Yard with Inner Circle. The crowd is electric. The bass line shakes the ground. Narrator: Tenement Yard became a street anthem, raw, rebellious, and real. Jacob wasn't just singing songs. He was telling the story of the ghetto, of oppression, of resilience. Chapter 3: The Voice of the People, archival interviews with fans, scholars, and political activists. Narrator: Miller's voice became the voice of the poor, the voice of the Rastaman, the voice of a new Jamaican consciousness. With hits like Tired Feel Lick Weed in a Bush, Forward Jaja Children, and Healing of the Nation, he walked the line between protest and praise. Reggae scholar: Jacob had this rare ability to mix humor with militancy. He could chant down Babylon and have you laughing in the same breath. That was his genius. Cut to Jacob clowning on stage, dancing wildly, towel flying, sweat pouring. Narrator: he was a performer of pure charisma, half preacher, half rock star. He danced, joke, and rage, sometimes all in the same song. Audiences didn't just listen to Jacob Miller. They experienced him. Chapter 4: Rebel with a Cause. 1978 One Love Peace Concert. Jacob walks on stage next to Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and Jimmy Cliff. Narrator: Jacob wasn't just about music. He was about movement, peace, unity. At the One Love Peace Concert, while Marley famously united rival political leaders, Jacob united the people through sound. Footage: Jacob laughing backstage with Bob Marley, his deep laugh echoing. Narrator: he and Marley were close, not competitors, but co-warriors. While Bob took reggae to the world, Jacob made sure the fire burned bright at home. Chapter 5: The Final Ride. Slow fade to a dark sky over Kingston. Somber tones begin. Footage of a wrecked BMW. Narrator: on March 23, 1980, tragedy struck. Jacob Miller, only 27 years old, died in a car crash in Kingston. A nation fell silent. Reggae lost one of its loudest voices. Bandmate voiceover: When we heard the news, we didn't believe it. Jacob was larger than life. It didn't seem possible that he could be gone. Cut to footage of his funeral procession, thousands of mourners lining the streets, draped in red, gold, and green. Narrator: his death left a void, but his voice, that thunderous, soulful voice, never stopped echoing. Chapter 6, The Immortal Dread. Fade into present-day musicians citing Jacob as an influence. Young Rasta youths singing his songs. Street murals. Narrator: for decades later, Jacob Miller's music is still alive, passed from sound system to sound system, generation to generation. His songs are scripture in the book of Reggae. His laugh is legend. His life, though short, was meteoric. Fan voiceover: Jacob taught us that joy could be resistance, that music could heal, that you could be conscious and still have fun. That's his real legacy. Closing montage: slow motion footage of Jacob performing Healing of the Nation, interspersed with visuals of Jamaica, Rasta gatherings, and global reggae festivals. Narrator: Jacob Miller never needed long to make an impact. Like a flash of lightning across a summer sky, he lit up the world, if only for a moment. But oh, what a brilliant light it was.